Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. We are back with Grand Arena and the first match of Season 47. And we begin this season in Kyber 2, and we're looking to hold on to this status moving forward. Now that we have a bunch of new weapons with Cal Kestis, Leia, we are working on quickly getting Mandalore Bow, and hopefully that prevents us from bouncing back and forth between Kyber 2 and Kyber 3. We're not going to look at any history. We did that in the last videos. Go check that out if you want to see the teams that were used. We're just going to jump right into things. But I do want to draw attention to the GLs and the strengths of these accounts, because one of the things that I brought up in the last week's analysis of the bracket and compared to this week is just the stark difference that we are seeing between the high end of Kyber 3 and the low end of Kyber 2. I would expect there to be a little bit more of a gradient. Instead, it's these things are night and day, because we are seeing a bracket here where there's 3 players with 8 GLs, there's 3 players with 7 GLs, 2 of us at 5, and that's it. Versus what I saw last week, or 2 weeks ago rather, in Grand Arena, where there was only 1 7GL player, if that. It may have been no 7GL players. I was the only player with Leia. Instead, we've got 3 players with Leia here, and I think I may have been the only player with Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. Datacron participation was very weak. Mods were a little inconsistent, and I'm just always surprised to see the strength of some of the counts that we're seeing here. That everyone here is on the bubble. I guess I did win. Maybe I'm technically a little bit past the bubble, because I did go 3-0 last week, and I climbed back into Kyber 2 with the first win. So technically I'm 2 wins deep, but still we're not that far away from being in Kyber 3. Now, looking at this bracket, my opponents actually has a smaller GP. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us above 10 million GP. There's 1 13 million GP player. Zeta wise, there's 1 player below 200 Zetas. My opponent's on the low end. Omicrons, and here's another thing. Last week, Omicron counts were very low, like below 15 on average. I am 3rd in Omis. There's 1 guy that's low at 11, but my opponent's fine at 19. Like, being in the range of 20 is kind of what you're going to see with most like serious Grand Arena players. We already did the GLs. Relic wise, my opponent's fine. Actually, that's pretty low for an 8 GL player to only be at 169. Maybe I'm wrong, because the other 8 GL player's at 167. But the 7 GL player, one of the 7 GL players, 164. Another guy's at 200. Another one's at 165. So I would expect it to be a little bit higher. There is 1 crazy person with 256 relics, which I think might be all the characters in the game relic. Let me just flash that on screen for you guys. So, yeah, you can see it here. That's a little intense. Zoom back in. Now with the depth, no depth issues. Everyone's fine. Relic distribution. My opponent and I are fairly close. He's got a little bit more than me, but not in a problematic sense. There's one guy, the guy who has the entire game at relics, he has 123 tier 8 relics. Like, I'm gonna have to flash this on screen again. Like, it's right here. He's got 123 tier 8 relics. I don't know why. Maybe this isn't his game mode, but his datacrons are serious too, so I don't think that's the case. Now, like, if he plays, he's going to win this bracket. 6-dot mods. I actually have a nice advantage over my opponent. Like, his mods are actually very slow, and his counts are very slow. Only 5 25+ speed mods, 32 20+ speed mods, and then, like, a third of the 15+ mods that I have. Like, we are just crushing them in terms of mod quality. Overall, in this bracket, I'm tied for 3rd in the top 26 average. In the top 500 average, I am 4th. With Datacrons, there are 4 players who I'm saying are taking Datacrons very seriously, and then the rest of the Datacron participation is a little inconsistent. Bloody Bullet's my opponent. See, he only has 1 level 9 Datacron, but it's the one that matters. He's got Drogons to pair with his Leia, so he did take that at least seriously, and that's going to cause some problems. I'm expecting Mandalore Bow is probably going to be a Leia counter, at least in Grand Arena. maybe a soft counter, but that's probably what we're going to be seeing. Because Leia right now, unless maybe the Bossk Datacron is strong enough to beat Leia in 3v3, she's going to be a problem. And I don't have SLKR for one of those potential counters. Now, 4 players with Leia, 1 player without Jabba, and that's that other 5 GL player, which is interesting because, like, if you're going to be 5 GLs in Kyber 2, you really want to have the more recent GLs like I do and not the older GLs, but we'll see how these things go. 1 player without JML, same guy, and I am the only player without Rey and SLKR, and it's going to be a while before I get them. I'm not going to get no Lightspeed bundle, and we're working towards Lord Vader. Now, with Omicrons, we got a Relic 8 Malgus with my opponent who has 3 Amis. Everybody else has pretty good looking Malguses. Radis, no Ami, that's fine. His Iden is weak. One of the new things for me this week is I do have Iden at Relics. I did that in the last roster video that you can check out. He has a weak Starkiller at Relic 3. That's actually good because he put Starkiller on defense. Dash with Ami, weak Wampa. Everybody, I guess not everybody. There's 2 strong Wampas other than mine. Savage, he doesn't have the Savage Ami, and there's actually 3 players in this bracket without the Savage Ami. And that, again, everyone should have that one if you care about this game mode. You don't need to have him at Relics. He's fine at gear 11 and 12 with that thing. You'll do less with it, but it's fine. 2 players in this bracket without Traya's Ami. One of them is the crazy account. He might not care about this game mode because he also has Afra at Relic 8 without Amis. He might just be a Territory Wars player. So my opponent does have Afra, Qui-Gon. He's got Swolo at a pretty decent level, but without the Ami. Zoris in here are mostly weak. There's only like 1 other usable Zori here, I guess. Well, I mean, you can use Zori at gear 8. That's not something you can't do, but makes things easier. Two players with weak or no third sister, my opponent being 1. Almost everybody's got Rex, 2 players without a good Rex. Malicos, this is probably the most Malicoses I've seen in a bracket, my opponent being 1 of the 2 without. Drogons, 3 players with weak Drogons. Now, with the rest of this, my opponent looks pretty good. There's only 3 players here with Jedi Knight Cal Kestis. With Leviathan, there's 2 players without the Leviathan, 1 player without the Profundity. I'm the only player with a 6-star Leviathan of the players who have the Leviathan. Everyone else is at 7 stars. Let's get into this. Taking a look at the quality of his modding, I've already looked at this. This is going to be pretty favorable for me. We already got a hint of this looking at his mod counts, organizing this by speed. He's got 11 characters. Bosch is his last character over 300 speed. His R2 is at 294. We're looking at like 280 something with Maul. So you can see just like the characters falling below 300 speed. Piet, Cat, Malgus, we got Afra, 000, Moff Gideon, Watts, Captain Rex and Rex, Vader, BT1, Drogon, like just down the line. These mods are weak. That's going to help me out a lot, and I think I'm going to need it. Here's the defense. You can see Jabba, you can see Leia. Now, I have made a number of changes to my defense. One of the things is like, yes, this is better with R2. I threw in Old Ben because I wanted to keep my R2 for my JTR Swolo team, because what I was doing during 5v5 and I think last 3v3, testing out JTR Swolo without R2, it was not working as well. So I'm willing to sacrifice that a little bit and see if this works. If it doesn't work, R2 will move into that slot. That's one of the major changes to this season of 3v3. My defense, I think, is going to be pretty stout. I have Krons on everybody who can have a Kron, so a Rebel Kron here. I mean, Leia's here, but we got Rebel Kron over on Radis. Down below, we do have, down here, the Bosch Kron onto Jabba. Maybe that causes enough problems where he can't get through Jabba cleanly. And then we've got CLS, Malgus, Dash, and Qui-Gon. I'm going to miss that Qui-Gon Kron, but maybe Kelleran is going to find a new home there once we get him. We'll be able to play with him next week. And we got Trench. Here's one of the changes for this season. We played with the Nisa Kron a little bit last 3v3. I think we had it for like a week before that season ended, and it's good. It's real solid. Let me click on it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's a very good Kron. I might miss it on offense, but I decided I wanted to make it my opponent's problem. I'm gonna put on defense and see what happens. So we got like unaligned force user crown on third sister. So we've got a number of advantages here on top of the mod advantage, but he does have a 3 GL advantage on me. And that's going to matter because it means things like maybe my Leia counter falls to an SLKR counter. Although I think that SLKR counter, at least it's a lot easier with Malgus, and he doesn't have Malgus. So that might not be easy for him. And with his modding, maybe his SLKR just fails. And then same thing with Bossk, maybe some of these counters that he would be trying to use aren't going to be working. So you can see he doesn't have any data crowns on these characters. We got Jabba, Shaak, Qui-Gon, Phasma, bam. We're not going to have too many problems there. I'm going to try and play this pretty clean because I think this is going to come down to banners. And he has the route to more teams that he can beat. So he actually has the advantage here in terms of who's going to clear what. It probably means I need to move Leia to the lower territory and not block fleets. And here you can see we got a crew-led Starkiller. We have Leia, Malgus, Darth Revan, and Bossk. We're going to start down here, right up at the top. This is just, we're going to do Sith Eternal Emperor here. Keep it easy and reliable. Let's give some Sith characters. What do we have to give you? I'm going to give you Sidious. I kind of want to give him Malik. A tank is the only reason I didn't want to do Malik is Malik I could do a solo, but I think I kind of need a tank. We're just gonna, let's do that. I don't want to risk it. Although I'm gonna, we don't have really Sith Crons right now though. Yeah, let's do that. All right, we'll link crew and I'm probably going to take this match fairly seriously. I want to win this. So that means no testing. Not that we have much to test right now. Next week we will with Kelleran. Okay, so we got Deceive down. Hit. Gonna keep doing this. We'll probably talk a lot of nonsense though. And watching some nonsense. Alright, we got 74. Oh, come on. Fine. Maybe I didn't need Malik then. Yeah, I don't think I needed Malik. I think I got overly concerned. Come on, give me my... Fine. I feel like I could undersize that even. Alright, we are not messing with Leia right now. I think we can Veers this. We're going to try, regardless. So we do Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper. We do have some Krons. So, not that one. Where's this one? Alright, let's give it a go. I should have the mod advantage. Okay, so spread a bunch of fear, and this is going horribly. Are you kidding me? So I should have basicked. But I wouldn't have got the assist. Then what, is Moff Gideon lead? But I don't have him at relics. Fine. I should have looked into that one a little bit more, but I feel like I've done that before. And his mods are bad. Well, do I want to do this or... I don't think I do. Because what if I did... Let's do gas here and we'll do Traya up against Darth Revan. I think that's probably the safer play. Although we don't have... So we get health steal... I don't know. This was no problem. Well, I guess these are weaker characters. This will be fine. But with the Cody, well, not the Cody Cron, but the clones Crons last month or the past couple months, this was way more reliable. Now we don't have that. Alright, Armor Shred. Form up. Get that turn meter going. Do not die on me yet. I want another go. Alright, Marauder. You know what? Let's call the assist from gas. We're not making much progress. Alright, we're through the protection. Alright. Great job, Rex. Alright, we're still standing. Alright, now we go down. Here we go. Perfect. Perfect timing on form up. Perfect. Alright, we'll have another armor shred soon. Hopefully we get an opportunity to take out Sith Assassin. Here we go. This is what I was hoping for. Okay. Second armor shred. We got it. There we go. Now we'll Traya Revan. I guess that's probably maybe what I should have done to start. Because I don't really need... Well, I guess on the... No, I don't think I need Traya. There's no team where I like have to use Traya. Just because these characters aren't at relics, at least the Nihilus and Traya aren't at relics, I didn't want to risk Malgus in case that went wrong. And see, things like this. This is why I need to have relics on these characters. I'm very irritated that we lost Traya like that. Looks like we got that sound issue. I gotta go do some bronzium stuff. Don't you die on me. Alright, good. Perfect. You guys are just not helping. This is all Savage. God. Thank you, Savage. This is why I love Savage. Savage, if you go back into my talk video archives, I did my 100th Zeta, and Savage was my 100th Zeta. Even though he was terrible at the time. This was pre-Omicron. It's just, I like him. I like Clancy Brown. I like the character. I wanted it. And the 200th Zeta just happened without fanfare. I didn't even know it happened. I don't know when it happened. It's too bad. Would have been worth making a deal out of. Alright, let's use presets. 3v3. So here's why I weakened my Leia team, so I could do this. Light side allies start 2 buffs. Sure, fine. I just want the stats more than anything. Any Kron is better than no Kron. Alright, let's see if we can take out Zam in 1. Awesome. Force the attacks onto... Ray, so that we don't have to worry about Swolo getting manipulated with ability blocks and other things. Not that these characters can do it, but that's the whole process. I wonder if maybe if I had a good BB-8, I could just put BB-8 here. Nah, technically I use BB-8 with like Starkiller counters and stuff. I got to figure out who's my R2 replacement. Because originally I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but it kind of is. Alright, let's head up top. We didn't get through that as cleanly as I wanted, but only one dropped battle with a miscalculation. We can't do a Malgus solo now of Shaak T. That was my original plan there. We're going to JMK Jabba. I'm so glad he doesn't have that datacron. I did not want to learn how to handle it right now. We got Jedi, Unaligned Force Users, Protection. Oh, no. There's a specific one that's great with JMK. It's the Tenacity Up one. Where's Tenacity Up? Do I not have... Oh my god, do I not have it? Ugh. So, I think it's the current... Is it the current set? Or is this the last set? I must have given it to somebody on defense. Or maybe I used it... I probably used it earlier without even realizing it when I was just blindly putting datacrons on. There's one, I think it's Tenacity Up equals Stacking Protection. That's great with JMK. We'll use this Ewok cron, I guess. Any cron is better than no cron. Alright. Damage immunity onto Cat. Take out Chrysanthemum, charge up the ultimate with JMK, welcome Chrysanthemum back to the fight, and try and take out Bossk before he taunts, if we can. If we can, it's not a huge deal. This is why we're charging up the ult. I'm going to keep charging it up. Alright, he's taunting. Now, you're going to die on me, aren't you? Let's just do this. Maybe I should have saved it, but it's fine. I'm a little bit worried about that right now. Alright, let's do this. Bossk is gone. And now, yeah, let's definitely do this. We're just attacking Jabba. We're going to completely ignore Chrysanthemum. Alright. Took us a little bit longer to get through Bossk than I would have preferred. Maybe we should have tripped the ultimate earlier. No, I don't think it would have made a difference, because for the most part, Chrysanthemum wasn't taunting. Alright, this should be Jabba. Perfect. Now, Chrysanthemum's no problem. And that's why we play it that way. And I'm probably everybody's playing it like that by now. Great. Alright, we got to find a different way through Shaak T. The only thing I'm trying to be careful with is I want to save as many weapons as possible for Leia. So if I don't have to, I don't want to use the team. Some of the things that are going on, like with Qui-Gon here, we're not going to use Jedi Knight Revan. You know what? We've got Inquisitor. Do we have an unaligned Force user cron? How do I like doing this? Alright, we got basic. Here's a Tenacity Up one, but we don't care about it for this team. I'm going to take this Malgus cron. Alright, so grant a buff, we get turn meter. We'll take it. Because I can't use the Malgus one. I guess I don't have enough. They're not at relics. That's why I can't use the Malgus one. I wish I could use the Malgus. Maybe I'll do it. I mean, this is really my last chance to use it in 3v3, which is maybe I'm taking those characters up to relics this month. Sir Jundo was part of my plans, not Cal though. But you know what? I was going to do crew. Maybe I do crew and Seer. They were part of my plans and what I've been budgeting for. Okay. Let's basic. So we get through, was it resilient defense or something? Alright, we get foresights and buffs, which means we're getting turn meter. Qui-Gon's gone. Let's just do this. Probably would be better to do it on Anakin, but I just decided I didn't care. Because I think we've got enough advantages. There we go. Alright. So Qui-Gon's down easy. Phasma and Shaak T we can't solo anymore. How do we want to do this? Like, we got a lot of weapons. I want to save as many as possible. We can Wampa somebody. Or wait, could Wampa handle like a solo Leia? Like, if we got down Leia, just Leia, would we want Wampa? Yeah, we got a lot of stuff right now. Alright, we're going to tackle Phasma first. And we're going to do this. Because Starkiller... Do I need mace for Starkiller, though? I think I do. Because otherwise... I guess I can use any Jedi. It doesn't have to be new mace. Let's just do it. Let's grab a Kron. 2 buffs that can be dispelled, we gain offense. Pretty good Kron. And we got a couple of them. Alright, let's do it. Alright, protection up. Okay, he's down. Let's get the assist from Ahsoka. Don't need to worry about the foresight. Okay. I probably don't even need mace. Padme would probably just beat that regardless. Oh, Shaak T. Is there a cheap way I can get through this? Do I have an Iden? Maybe it's risky to use Iden. Ooh. Yeah, maybe we do these guys. Because we do have another... Maybe I should re-roll this. So at the end of their turn, Imperial Troopers recover protection. If they... Yeah, we need to re-roll that. But let's use it. Alright. Inflict vulnerable, dispel, stun. Sure. Which one's daze? So dispel. What? Is it, or it's stagger? Inflict expose. Okay, here we go. Alright. And we almost kind of took out Echo. Maybe we should try and take out Echo. Let's hit the staggers. Alright, perfect. Alright, basics. So get rid of Shaak T. Awesome. Like, I would have preferred some solos, because the solos would have helped out banners much more, but this is good. Like, I'm happy that we were able to use some cheaper teams to get through those teams, because we're saving as many weapons as possible for Leia. Now we gotta figure out BAM. But it's a BAM Hondo, and it's a good Hondo. We gotta be a little careful here. See, this is one of those teams. Well, I guess there's L3. This is one of those teams where Bad Batch can beat it. The question always, though, is can my Bad Batch beat it? Because I don't have relics on these. And a lot of the times, some of these counters require relics. So is it even worth me risking it? Because, like, I can't beat Bam. If he gets into Whistling Birds and gets that off, he's going to wipe me out. So maybe I just do a safer counter. There's a bunch of safer counters. Like Afra will win it. And you know what? Let's just gamble. If we lose this, we lose it. I think he's going to have a rougher time going through my defense than I'm having with his. Let's give it a shot. Alright, so we get that. We get our stuns. And now we've got the buff immunity. He's down into Whistling Birds, which is what I was concerned about. I wonder if I should have... No, okay, maybe we're... I don't know. Swap there for the turn meter. I kind of want to keep buff immunity onto L3 so we don't have to deal with the taunt. So I'm going to reapply it. I might regret it though. Looks like we got that audio glitch going again. I'll fix it after this. Okay. Come on. Let me do this. I want this. Perfect. Okay. I'm glad we did this. Let's take these guys out before we have the return of damage immunity. I think damage immunity is coming back, so let's try and see if we can take out... Let's do this. Boom! We got it! Great. We'll clear fleet, and then we're going to just throw everything at Leia and see what happens. So do Leviathan first. Just keep this easy. We're not going to overcomplicate fleet. I wish I didn't do that Veers team now. It's the only blemish here. Yeah, so my plan with getting this to 7 stars, we're going to do maybe we'll do 3 refreshes this month. We're going to do we're going to have it by January. So we're either doing 3 refresh or 2 refreshes this month. So 3 attempts this month and 2 attempts next month. Or we're doing 2 this month and 3 next month. I haven't decided yet. Probably though, because it's the holidays, CG's a little bit more generous with crystals and stuff. Probably makes sense to do it this month. I'm just trying to think through here. Let's do this. I want a reinforcement before we land the debuffs. Okay. Let's bring out the fighter. All right. It should take out Y-Wing, hopefully. Perfect. Now, maybe we take out Dash, and we do. Which means once we get the Mark 6 out, we're going to have things pretty easy. I really don't want to use the Mark 6 on this thing, though. Why you gotta be like this? Alright, fine. Let's go for stacks. We'll call an assist. And when the Mark 6 goes, we'll take this out. Boom. Alright. Let's keep it moving. Is Malevolence on defense? What do we have? I've got Negotiator, Chimera. Let's do Chimera up against Negotiator. So we want... Let's do that. Do we want to have a Scythe fleet? This should be fine. Unless there's the Marauder. This should be fine. And I don't think there's a Marauder. Because I don't think he changed his fleet defense. And I don't even know if he has it. Alright, let's get some foresight. He gives me turn meter. Let's put buff immunity over here. Oh, I guess everybody gets buff immunity. Target Anakin. Do I want to do this? I kind of feel like no. Alright, Anakin's down. Let's pull turn meter. That's just the wrong ship here, so we're fine. Though I would like to not lose the the interceptor. Let me heal. Don't die. Ah, fine. Bring out the defender then, I guess. Okay, easy. Let's move on. I'm just gonna assume the Marauder is gonna do this for me. Let's do Marauder. Let's give a tank. Let's do Plo. Let's do that. Okay, so he's gonna throw Hunted onto the Marauder. Not a fan of that start, but alright, let's focus in on Kylo. I'm gonna throw buff immunity onto the tank. Oh, we don't get it. Fine. We got rid of Kylo, which is really the big thing here. I'm going to put Anakin under stealth. Okay, we'll get through the tank easy enough. Why? Okay. Alright, did we get through this? No, I don't need to bring it. Why did I fill out all these slots? I would have been better off. I would have been better off leaving an empty slot or two. Okay. The easy part is done. Ah! Now for the hard part. See, the thing is, if we had the Cal Kestis Kron, like, we could have done something like this with the Cal Kestis Kron, but without the Cal Kestis Kron now, I don't think we last long enough. I don't think this is going to work. Plus, I got Relic 5 on Jedi Knight Revan. This is not going to work. So if I don't do that, then I guess the alternative would be like this. We're going to want Revan regardless. How are we going to do this? I think without the Kron, I think that's what I want to do. Or would I rather have JKL? Because that stun from JKL is going to be pretty valuable. I don't like it. I just think the mark is going to be so important. Let's get into this. Because, like, this is the match. Or, like, this is my only realistic way through this team. Let's do it. I wish we still had that Cal Kestis Kron. I don't want them to counter that much, though. I don't know. I might regret all of this. Alright, so he does a basic. And let's get protection up onto some peeps. It's going to take us so long to get to where we need to go. And then they can ignore taunt. This is not going to happen. There's no way. Yeah, see, it's already over. Maybe the stun would have been better, but I felt like we needed the mark. The savior was important too. All right, let's get out of here. I don't think we're beating this. Let's try Afra, because we do have that Afracron. What if it's amazing? We probably would need the Amis on the droids, though. Alright, so this is the first time each scoundrel ally uses a basic reset the cooldowns. I don't think this is going to do anything. At the end of droid ally's turn, Afra gains bonus a turn and recover. I mean, we're going to give it a shot. I might put one of the... I need to look at what the Amis do on BT and 000 and see if I'm interested in any of them. Although we need so many Amis right now for characters who are on the way. You're just going to counter me to death. Man. Let's do it. I gotta... Oh, so they don't counter that? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm dead. Alright. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's give another thing a shot. Let's give Starkiller a shot. At least they're taking more of a hit. She's dead now. Yeah, there's just no way. And it's a Relic 9 one. It's like it's better than mine. Yeah, there's no way. Alright, let's get out of here. We're done. We can't touch that. I wish we would have played... I wish I didn't do Veers. Darth, I wish I would have researched it a little bit more. Well, you know what? Let's throw in Malgus, because I love him, and I want to show him a little respect. He gets to die, too. Okay, so we get a counter. You guys are doing way better than I thought you would. Is this a situation where if I had them... I might, for next week, try and prepare the Malgus. Or, I have got the Kron. Prepare the rest of these guys to Relic so I can use the Kron. But we're gonna die. And they're doing better than a lot of these other teams. Like, they're at least taking a hit. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want you to... We're not doing any damage. How are you supposed to beat this team? Yeah. Like, at least they could take a punch, but they're not going to beat it. And that ends it. We'll see what happens to him. Hopefully the Bossk is supercharged and he can't get through it. But considering he only used 2 GLs on defense, so he's got 6. I don't think he's gonna have a lot of problems. And he has SLKR, which has a shot at least to get through Leia. I guess what I need to know is, does Jabba beat Leia in 3v3? If Jabba does, then Jabba's coming to offense. But we'll check back in the morning. We win round 1, not really with the results I was hoping to see. My opponent, Bloody Bullets, more or less just gives me this win. I would prefer that he would attack a little bit more so that we could get some more understanding of the quality of some of these changes to the defense. Like here with this first territory, this is the only one that he attacked. He didn't even attempt an attack on Jabba and the Bossk crown. And I'd like to know how that looks on defense. It's a good crown on offense. There's a lot of things you can do with it. I want to know if some of these standard counters and stuff, how those perform up against it. Because these are the kinds of information that you're trying to gather, particularly during the first week of a new season when we're switching between 5v5 and 3v3. Like you saw it with my attempts up against Leia, where even though I was fairly certain I had no shot at clearing Leia, I wanted to learn as much as possible about this Leia squad. And we learned a couple things, like Afra, we learned that Kron is not going to help in the counter. We saw with Cere Junda that even with the Gear 12 Cere Junda, my Malgus at Relic 5, they survived a really long time. Like, they didn't have any chance at winning it. They didn't have the offense to really do any damage to them, but it was pretty promising that they were at least survivable. Maybe in a cleanup kind of scenario, they'll have a little bit more viability. Maybe if we replaced Cal, like there's things there that could be explored. We saw the same things like with Maul, there's nothing there. And we saw with like Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, without his Kron, that gave him a little bit of a head start on Impetuous Assault. Maybe we're not going to be able to rely on Jedi Knight Cal Kestis as a counter in 3v3. Maybe in 5v5 it's a little bit more viable where a little bit more time can be bought for the characters. Now, the other thing that we're kind of seeing here, we need to see that if like Jabba, maybe we need to bring Jabba to offense to see if maybe the Bossk crown is going to be an option here. So even if you're in a scenario where you're not going to win, I would just keep fighting. Learn as much as you can. You learn just as much in a failed attempt as a successful attempt. And now moving forward, I know what teams I don't need to worry about saving for a Leia situation. Like, I'm never going to save Afra for Leia because I've just been able to see in that matchup that there's no benefit to doing it. Whereas maybe I will end up saving a Cere Junda with Malgus. But next match is going to be a rough one. We'll be back next time to break that one down. Kelleran is in game. I have my talk video breaking down his kit already up. We'll put it right there. I think is super promising. I'll have him ready for next week. We'll be doing a lot of play with him. And I'm excited for how he's going to be in addition to the game. I think there is going to be some 3-star viability under a Qui-Gon lead in Grand Arena. But check out next week for that. We'll be back in a couple days for the next Grand Arena videos. Thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other, everybody. This is Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes.